Hello everyone and welcome once again to the greatest show on YouTube. At least the greatest involving a bear that can play an instrument. And I know I'm not going to count that jerk in Colorado who played a piano. Anyone can do that. It is I, your master of ceremonies, the one and only Bear Bard. Here today to bring you more nightmares from the depths of Reddit. If you haven't yet had the chance to enter our giveaway, make sure to listen in at the end of this video on how to enter. The winner will be selected next Tuesday, September 14th, 2021 at 9 p.m. Pacific. Let's see that dum-dum on the piano give you a chance to win some awesome die. If you like this video and you want to see more from me, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. For every sub I get, I don't eat a camper who forgot their bear repellent. For now, let's get to the story. Our first story today is titled, Player Dies Then Rages at Me. The party is on their way to the crossroads to do a deal with the devil when they come across a group of highwaymen berserkers. The party knows how dangerous one berserker is, so they have the options to pay 50 gold, a pittance really, or fight. The level 3 Hexblade charges at the blockade without even talking to the party and attacks the closest berserker. Initiative starts and the rest of the party basically refuse to roll initiative because they didn't want an unnecessary fight. I decide to only let him 1v1 the berserker while the rest of the gang watches. He doesn't roll higher than 11 and dies in 3 turns. This isn't a regular 5e world. Reincarnation is the stuff of legends and the party doesn't even begin to know how to find a cleric or magic item to do it. They bury him and go along the way. I pause the session and ask if we can take a break while he rolls up a new PC and he starts to catch an attitude. You really gonna let me die? Fine. He rolls up a character called Dick Licker III. When I read this, I wanted to say it real fancy like Dick Licker III. I tell him if he's not going to roll a real PC, you can just go. He says, wow, now you're going to kick me out? I say no, if you roll up a new PC, you can stay. He says nah and leaves. He then texts me a literal paragraph talking about how shitty of a DM I am and surprised anyone wants to play with me. So yeah, that sounds like a fun dude to be around. He goes and attacks without telling the party and gets mad when they let him do it on his own. Then he dies and complains that he dies. I think here that expression, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, comes into effect. The real kicker for me here is the lame attitude. I hate that crap. It's like, you clearly messed up. Just own up, make a new character. They were even gonna wait for you. I know a lot of groups who aren't willing to do that, and just move on. But no, he pouted then bounced. The real issue is that this dude should be playing video games and not TTRPGs. I know a lot of people come from video games and it's awesome. It's how I came over, but they're very different experiences. One is usually to create that power fantasy for you, the player. The world is set up around you. In a TTRPG, it can change wildly depending on the DM and the group dynamic. And just by being in a group instead of by yourself, you already changed the power fantasy feeling. That's not to say you can't feel powerful, but this world doesn't revolve around just you. You have to be part of a group. Even as a lone wolf character, if you're not willing to do that, then maybe just stick with video games. There's nothing wrong with that. Video games are dope, just different. My next story today here is the solution to child slave labor. This happened this week while I was playing the Iron Dynasty setting of the Savage Worlds books. My group's favorite system, though the story was homebrew. Now, the only context you need is that we change DM and the campaign every now and then. We do an evil campaign. I DM and we are pirates in space only doing what benefited us. Then we do a good campaign to where we are adventurers in fictional Iron Age Japan. Always trying to do the right thing, only using violence as a last resort. This was the Japanese campaign. So to cut to the chase, the DM had us go to the realm of water this week, and while there, we got captured by water Oni and enslaved. So we had to figure out how to escape our newfound imprisonment. While there, we find a lot of women and children who are also slaves working in this copper mine. There is also an old man who has lots of knowledge of other realms and he explains how death works. He explains that everybody here is of the mortal realm and so can't die in the water realm. If you die in a realm that isn't your own, then you just return to your own realm and are banished there for 1,000 years. And so all the Oni we ever killed just go back to their respective realm. But only if you are murdered. If you die by suicide or by accident, then you are dead, no matter what realm you are in, and so the demons won't kill you, just torture you if you try to escape. So then my friend, we'll call Jay, realized something. But before he explained it, he just started saying, "Look, I know how to get these people out, and I'll make it quick." Me, the DM, and the other player, call him A, were just listening until he said, "Let's take our pickaxes and kill the kids and women." At this point, the DM is f***ing pissed. Me and A are just f***ing dying laughing, and Jay is just saying things like, "Look, it'll be quick and painless, just a quick pin to the head." just a quick pin to the head and it will be back in the earth realm, safe and sound. The DM actually got up and started pacing while me and Jay were trying to catch our breath. As this goes on, I finally am able to yell out while pointing at the DM, how did you accidentally make a situation where child murder is objectively the moral correct option? I have been playing tabletop for 10 years. This was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. My current DM, the best DM I ever seen, has a saying, "Never say no, only say yes, yes and, or yes but." This is more of a guideline rather than a law though. But for the first time in 3 years with this DM, he flat out said, "No, you are not allowed to fucking kill kids." This is in my top 3 favorite stories I've read on this channel. I laughed so hard reading through this, it actually made getting a usable take tough. I love that the DM probably sat there trying so hard to make this very serious situation and probably figured out all these different paths they could take to fix the situation and never once even considered the situation that this player came up with in probably 3 seconds. Normally here's where I try to give my perspective to improve things, but there's nothing here to improve. The DM accidentally made a solution to the problem that he wasn't willing to, understandably so, play out. This is one of those experiences you laugh about, you learn from, and then you move on. Now for our final story of the day, how to accidentally kill your PCs. After a 15-year break, I am happily back to D&D. After several months, I was ready to run a homebrew campaign. My players seemed to enjoy the odd story I crafted, and all was good, except combats were way too easy. Spells and key alpha striking all my encounters, absolutely steamrolling over some beefed up mini bosses, and I have a knack for rolling critical failures. So the group had then engaged a boss. They knew he was coming, and I wanted to give them a difficult but manageable combat challenge. The boss had some spells of his own and access to sorcerer mechanics. And to ensure there would be at least 1 to 2 things left swinging after the party murdered him, round 1, I added a minotaur skeleton and an ogre zombie along with some other chaff. Well, now the group rolled multiple 1s, and I rolled too much damage. Who knew? Downing half the group instantly and leaving the others hopeless. I felt bad for my friends, but honestly, I was more affected by the realization that this effort-filled campaign creation of mine was suddenly borked. TLDR, don't tempt the dice by going too big and too wide with encounters because ish happens. So I chose this story because of how relatable it is for me. With my DMing, I struggle with this all the time. Everyone has their thing they struggle with. You unfortunately get into situations like this, but as long as you learn from it and improve, that's where it really matters. Coincidentally, this is why I don't mind DMs fudging their rolls for the sake of the game. I'm not saying ignore every roll, but sometimes maybe ignore 1 or 2 rolls. You'll get it, it just takes some trial and error and maybe a few more dead PCs. My best recommendation for you is learn how certain spells can counteract certain classes. Sometimes that's more important than pure combat power. Now for our bear fact of the day. There's only 1 species of bear in the entire southern hemisphere, the spectacled bear. This bear is found almost entirely in the Andes Mountains of South America. You may have heard people call them the Andean bear. Now for the giveaway. This is my celebrating 100 subs giveaway for this gorgeous metal die set. Entering is super easy. All you need to do is have this channel subbed, then like this video, and leave a comment below either telling me your favorite TTRPG story, could be good or bad, or your favorite class. The post must contain the hashtag BearBarTales. This is just to make things easier to pick a winner. And that's it. Again, the winner will be selected on September 14th, 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 2021. All the instructions can be found down below as well as the winner if it's past the due date. The winner will be selected completely randomly, so make sure you have that hashtag in your post so the random selector can pick up your entry. I want to thank you again for watching to the end of this video and for all the new subs. Also, for those of you who have taken the time to comment on either a video or in my Discord, it means a ton to me that there are people out there enjoying what I'm making. If you have any thoughts on any of the stories today, please make sure to let me know down in the comments below. If you want to connect with me, you can do so on Discord, the subreddit, Facebook, or Twitter. If podcasts are more your thing, then make sure to check out the Bear Bar Tales podcast, available on all major podcasting distributors. For now, the podcasts take the stories from YouTube, strip down the commentary, and put them in half-hour blocks. But in the future, I plan on adding more D&D content on there. The links for everything can be found below. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you want to hear more from me again. You know, I feel like we had something special, stronger than just a one-date thing. For now, this has been the Bear Bard. You stay beautiful, stay kind, and I'll see you guys next time.